Hey everyone, it's VM Campos Magic Fan. Welcome to another streaming Saturday. And I think at the very beginning here we might have a little guest. If I can wrangle him, we might have Kitty make a quick appearance. Here he is, ready to help me master the latest cards in Magic. He's coming to say hi for a moment. Look over there. You're over there. You're over there. So he was begging for food a moment ago, and now that he's had it, now it's time for hijinks. He actually came and nibbled on my foot for a moment. But let's see if he goes off and does his thing. So welcome everyone. Hey there, Mark. Everyone coming into the stream, welcome. Hey there, Stevie. You just missed the kitty right now. He appeared on the stream for a moment to say hello, and he wandered off somewhere. So I just started things. I'm gonna do the camera checks. So Amazing Cam looks pretty good. Full screen cam. Ooh, that one's pretty dark. Okay, let's fix that. Configure a video. And I swear I don't change anything myself, so why doesn't it not remember my settings? All right, so that looks pretty good there. Then we've got the web browser cam. Looks good. No card cam this week. I don't have any cards to crack a pack with at the moment. So we'll make do without the card cam. And I was actually rushing home right now. My alarm was going off that, oh, it's time for the stream and such. So I didn't have everything fully set up. So I've got the stream going live, but I'm going to take the first break because I just didn't have everything fully set up. And so I gotta do a what's that card in Kaladesh that wipes out all the goblins? It's the Wrath of God of the set, but it's the one that destroys all the goblins. They're even in the artwork, or gremlins, and it's all in the artwork. And then you gain life for every creature destroyed. Anyway, that one. But we'll take a quick break because I don't have everything fully set up. So be right back in a moment. All right, we're back. So, yeah, how's everyone's week been so far? It's been rainy here in the last few days here in sunny San Diego. We've actually been getting some rain. And I was out getting a little bit of groceries before. It's supposed to rain any minute now, pretty bad. So if you hear the pitter patter in the background, it's because of that. Thank you. Okay, let's do some gold digging. So we have two big pots here. Cast 30 green or white, or cast 30 green or blue. Okay, so I'll be able to do those. And then we got white and black. All right, let me do the one of trying to get the black gold here. So I'm going to play a mono black deck for a moment. Try to get that gold. I think I feel like I haven't played with... Troxel is pretty mono black, so we'll play some Troxel. We will be corrosive a bit. Now I'm also going to do things slightly differently. I'm going to start the beverage a little bit earlier, although it is 8 p.m. for me at the moment, because I was at the store, and then so I just saw this fun canned drink, so I'm going to try that. Water, agave wine, sugar, natural flavors, citric acid. So it doesn't seem too bad. Okay, we got a brainstorm cast down, which is worthless for the opponent's thing, but we've got that and other stuff. Okay, and I go first. Cool. This snack is more of a drink for snack time, and I'll open it in one moment. Let me just start my gameplay here, and I'll open that in a moment. We'll do the good old brainstorm. Okay, you're going to do your scry, but how about I do my thing first? I'm going to toss back, doesn't matter. Put that back like that, sure. And we'll play that black. Pass, and we have removal just in case, or more card draw. Highly enjoying Marianne. Ooh, very nice. In the Photoshop. Yep, definitely. She was a student of mine some time ago, and so I taught her everything she knows. And then, of course, she's evolved beyond that. So I'm glad it's been working out for you in that class. And how's the semester going along for you so far? Yeah, the old school brainstorm. Trying to remember how it originally looked. It was originally from... Oh yeah, it was originally Ice Age, right? And it was pretty cool in terms of a guy looking really cool with lots of power. And Brent, his brain crackling. Your go, because you're wishing well. You can crack your wishing well? Nope, you have another thing to do. Okay. While you contemplate your life choices, I will open my beverage. So, this very cool, hold on, let me put a stop here, because that's going to be a little trouble. That fish, that merfolk, it can be very troublesome in the right deck. Remember, that was an all-star a few years ago when I was playing that mono blue deck. That was actually a tournament-winning deck. That merfolk can get very big, very fast. So now they've got enough mana to crack their well. And I'm at 5 mana. I'm at 6 mana. They're looking at Troxel. They're trying to get their own. Huge amount of mana as well. Pretty good. A vampire. Keeps a double blue. Let's try to get rid of it. Make them use up their mana. Alright, so if they use up their... Okay, fine. They're gonna let that pass. I wanna summon Troxel, but it will not be safe. That's gonna get counterspelled. Double blue counterspell. That's gonna be a counterspell, right? It's not too useful yet. So anyway, I'll just put out all my mana and then let them spend their mana. Yuan Tuan Malison. Let's see if you've got a response for that. Nope, still letting it ride. Okay. Fine. I'm not going to be the one that blinks here. I'm going to let them use up their mana so that my Toxrel can be safe. They're still doing it. Okay, let's do this. You're not going to play anything. How about missing a land? Do you have counter target activated ability? Nope. And it's just all blue mana, so I still can't really play Troxel yet. Another tapped mana. Passing. I'm not going to pass into a counter spell. It is pausing for priority, so it's probably a counter spell. How about we play another instant? Yeah, I needed a land. And then how about we play... There's the counter spell. Now, is that gonna let me finally play Troxel? Yep, that was that counter spell. They probably have removal. There's the Frogify. Okay, that's not so bad. Thief. Why don't I just steal your thief? Frogifying their own creature. Poor fool. And then passing. Okay. No problem. Let's draw a card. It really is a standoff with this opponent. No one wants to blink. No good land to destroy. So I'm just going to be attacking with these 1/1s until I can get rid of the that enchantment. That's a good one, and I don't have any answers for that.
If
they
I were
do the
you,
minus...
I'd just surrender right now.
No, they're doing the zombie. Okay, yep. So this will be a little
Smelly,
tricky
but
to deal
effective.
with.
I've learned much from your death. Back off!
Hey there, Team Teeks. Welcome. Just trying to deal with this opponent that has way too good of a board state, so I don't know, if I don't get any good stuff on my side, it's just gonna be a grind. And they're passing with counter spells, so yeah, I don't think this yeah, this is too much of a stalemate. Yep, we've been getting rain down here too, and that's always nice, although it did wake me up. The other day it woke me up, all of that rain, but my cactus is happy, or what is it? Is a cactus or a succulent? I think it's a cactus. So I've got in the patio there's got a little planter area with a cactus. So it's been enjoying some rain. So the opponent is another annoying opponent. We'll try to play it a little bit, but usually it's probably a better idea not to play against a sliver opponent. We'll give it a shot, but I don't doubt that it won't turn out well. At least it wasn't a turn one. At least it wasn't a turn one sliver, although I'll be surprised if it's not a turn two sliver. They're printing or reprinting a bunch of new slivers on the new sets or something. That won't be a problem. So I think a little bit later I'll also show some photos. I have some photos I took recently on my film camera. So I will pull those up. A few of those. Did I tell all of you last week that I found a camera that I bought 10 years ago at a thrift store for $1, and I forgot I had it. I put it away, and then when I was cleaning out the garage, I found it, and it was in mint condition and everything. And so, wow, this has been a really bad hand for me. So anyway, the camera had a roll of film in it from 10 years ago when I got the camera. And what happened was I bought it, it was for $1, and I tried using it, I suppose, and then something broke with it. The film advance lever stopped working, so I put it away, and then I put it away, so then I put it away, and then I found that it had film still, so I had the film developed, and I can show a few of those. So these are shots that I took 10 years ago. A few shots over at my parents' place. And having to kill your own poor sliver. Well, as for me, Next turn is the big sliver. Okay, there we go. Draw that. So again, even if you deal with slivers, you're still... The first sliver is just so powerful that with that cascade effect that they always still come out ahead anyway. And even though I just removed it, okay, I want that. Even though I just removed it, then it's still going to... see all of this value. I'll try to play Troxel, but I feel like that might not be the best. Even though it's a very good card. If they only focus on their slivers, then we might be okay. They missed a land drop there. Well, it was a tap land. So if they don't get rid of Troxel here, that'll be very good for me. Nope, they're putting some sort of amazing thing on it. Okay, that's going to be 6 damage. Play an extra land. Passing. Okay, so then the Predatory Sliver croaks. I get a slug. I'm just getting all lands. Amazing. Okay, well, time to attack with a 7/7. Oops, I didn't want to attack with my 1/1. Destroy a tapped creature. Nope, let's instead eat itself. Draw a card. Final... final removal, sure. I should have left Troxel in the graveyard, then I could have brought it back with Blood on the Snow. Whoops, that's a misplay. Don't tell me that was a Planeswalker. Yep, so this was a misplay. I should have played... Well, it's not even gonna work because... because, they need snow mana, and I have no snow mana in that deck, so that's kind of an inefficient thing that I've got in that deck, but okay. The fear of getting your precious sliver wiped out again was too much, so okay. Sorry, not sorry versus the sliver player. So today's beverage of choice, I went easy. Instead of mixing my own drink this time, I went with a Melograno Orange Blossom Martini. So it feels a little weak, because I'm used to making my own homemade drinks that are, I don't know, 5 times stronger than this. But the package is cool. Look at that. Look at those little flowers and the blue and the orange. That's some nice graphic design on that. Not getting any focus there, but that's supposed to be some kind of cool design. I can't believe my camera. What's wrong with you, Logitech? You used to work. But that's that, and it tastes all right, but I would have made a better drink. Or maybe it's gonna sneak up on me. Alright, play a little bit more of this deck. Two games so far, 1 loss, 1 win. Alright, so here's an opponent I haven't really played. What is this one? Ria Ivor, with a huge wall of text, as is the norm nowadays. I go first. Got a card draw on turn 2 and removal. Just gonna tap that out to not waste time. Alright, so Riva Ivor, Bane of Bladehold. 4 mana, 3/4, Battle Cry. So that's a brand new ability there, Battle Cry. What does Battle Cry do again? Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1 until end of turn. Oh, so it's an anthem when it attacks. 3, 4. Those are some nice looking planes, very artistic. Although it looks like they're trying to mix two things at... Ooh, lithoform engine. Looks like they're trying to mix two things at once, which is to... which is to have some sort of like dreamy edges, but then a realistic land. Not sure why. So I have the Torment of Hailfire. I swear I have not played a Torment of Hailfire in a while. That's one of my favorite ways to win. You got 1,000,000 mana, and then you really, really, really win. Mirex, what is this? This is a land, this is a sphere. Tap it to add 1 colorless, tap it to add 1 mana of any color, but activate only if Mirex enters the battlefield this turn. Okay, and 3 and tap, create a Phyrexian Might. Okay, let's get rid of that land right away, right? It's gonna be trouble, so good thing I got removal for the land. And I got a little toxic creature. Well, I guess we'll just get out the Massacre. For 3. That was such a good card, they had to ban it in Standard. That's right, you use your lithoform engine properly. Now, should I steal their lithoform engine or steal their commander? Which would hurt them more? They obviously want to duplicate stuff with that engine, but it costs mana. And then... yeah, I think I'm going to steal that engine because that's going to give them more value. So now they got 2 of those rats at once. Fine. Okay, well... gotta bring out Truxel to wipe things out. That destroy everything and then keep 5. Okay, interesting. Huh, that wasn't so bad actually. Let's do this Hailfire. I don't think it's going to be as bad as I think. Okay, so 5, 6. Torment for 6. And they'll have to do a bunch of math here. 6 times 3 is 21. They could take it all completely. That'll be 21 damage. Okay. It's not so bad. Let's see if they do their Wish Claw. They could do the Wish... They have 5 on the Wish Claw. Oh, okay. Well... I'm gonna go get something and have plenty of mana to do it. Oh, that'll be bad. All right.
I am the master here.
Switch over to another deck. Zombies. Let's do some zombies. So how's everyone? Taking... Okay. If they go first, I'm not playing against this opponent. That deck is just so... You go first. Okay, and I have a murder, although that's turn 3. Fine. Hate that deck. If they go first especially, obviously they're going to do a turn 1 life gain creature. And then turn 2 Trelazara, and then they're off to the races. So that's just such a cheap deck. But they didn't get it, so that's good at least. And then no pity. Let's see if they play... Nope, they're playing greedy, and that will definitely... As I said, no mercy. With that particular deck, it's... You have to get rid of their main piece right away, because it definitely gets out of hand. If I pay 3, I can still do 2. This is going very well. 3, got 4, 5, 6 mana so far. 6 mana. How much do I need? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I forgot about that. So I need 10 mana for that. Novice Knight does that thing. Let's play that and get rid of that angel right away. Yeah, we need to get rid of it right away because the mana doesn't quite work out. So now I've got all the mana for all my zombies. They have 4 mana for their Trelazara. They have Shalai. Sure. 1 more mana. So they have mana for Shalai to do its thing. But I have enough mana to kick Josu and do a big old zombie squad. Thusly... And if they get rid of Josu, I've got 8 2/2s with Menace. Speaker, that's a pretty good one. Need to get rid of that right away. Alright, so we'll not allow them to get to the life total to start making flyers, so we'll do an attack. Oh, and I have to get rid of Shalai first before I can target anything else. So Nope, you can't do that yet. You just summoned it. And you don't have enough life anyway. 6 life, amazing. Okay, maybe I could have played Hand of Vecna. A equipped creature gets X, where X and determines the number of cards in your hand. I should have played that. But I was in a mad zeal to first. There it is. Although Shalai is legendary. There's that 5 mana there. That might be lethal, so we have to hold our life back. Hold our mana back. I believe that's 13 damage, so... But 1 is not an attacker. Okay, that won't be so bad. Alright, that one worked out okay. That was very close, yep. Very close. Alright, so I got my gold for black. Switching over to... Let's do a white deck. Actually, let's change gears. So I'm going to switch over to show some photos, just to change things up a little bit. So let me open up my photo screen over here. Thank you. So we'll switch over to my photos. So I'll show here. So that camera that I mentioned was a Sears KS1. So Sears partnered up with Pentax, I believe. And they took their name, they purchased the rights of Pentax or whatever, and then they made their version, the KS1, even though that was the Pentax Rico. Is that right? Rico? Pentax Rico? I don't even know. But it was some other camera, and then Sears sold it for themselves in 1983 or 81 or something. So apparently 10 years ago, I found one at a thrift store for $1. And then I put it away for 10 years, and then I found it again in my garage last week, 2 weeks ago. And there was a roll of film in it. So I rewound the roll, and then I took it to get developed. And I'll show those photos there. The roll had 24 shots, but when the camera broke, I had shot 19 shots, so not so bad. Most of them were shot. But those photos were there for 10 years, 12 years, slowly degrading, so they're not in perfect condition anymore, the photos. So these are some photos that I shot some time ago. Don't know exactly the days and such, but we'll look at a few of these. So at my old place, I had this really cool elephant ear plant. I think that's what it's called. Maybe some of you more botanist type friends out there know what it's called. But that was a gift from my parents at my new place, which was my old place at the time. I'm at another place now. And you can tell there that I wasn't the best green thumb, because look at the poor edges on that plant there, starting to dry off. Although these other ones are okay. And if you look carefully, there's some rain. So who knows when I shot this? Maybe even around the times of winter time, because here in San Diego we get, or Southern California, we get rain rather than snow. And so the elephant ear plant is known as the taro species. Ooh, okay. Didn't know that. And so that was my corner garden. You can't really see it, but there's a little bit of a dirt area, and my parents gave it to me on this pot when I moved in here, and I tried to keep it alive, but I'm just not a good green thumb. And over here was my idea that I was gonna have like I was gonna have, I don't know, tomatoes, and that's a tomato plant cage or whatever that thing's called. So okay, it's taro, yeah, taro species, right? Because there's different types of taro, like the actual root that you can eat. I don't know if that's an edible root, but I had that plant, and these negatives, you can tell like the colors are all kind of weird and faded and stuff, and there's all of this way too much grime on the negative, but that's just because, I don't know, I think when I scanned it, too much dust got on it. So the original negative doesn't have that much dust and grime and such, but the colors are definitely off. And then that's the edge of the film right there where the negative ended. Yeah, no worries. All right, so then here, this must have been at a time when I first started to teach at the other college. So I teach at 2 colleges, one that's only 3 miles away, which, if my conversion to kilometers is right, is about 10,000 miles. No, just kidding. It's about 9 kilometers, I suppose, 10 kilometers. So the place that I live right now, I'm about 3 miles away from that job. But then my other job is around 15 miles north, one way. So that's about 315. That's what, 45 kilometers. So 90 kilometers round trip for that job. And I must have started to work there recently, and I had that camera. So here's an amazing artistic shot of the parking lot. The 3rd floor of the, was it 2 floors or 3 floors? I think it was a 3-floor parking structure. And so I just took a shot there of the empty parking structure, the top floor that's facing west towards the Pacific. And it's just an awkward fence here so that people don't jump from the parking structure to the roof of the school. So they then have to put in a pretty ugly looking fencing there. Although you could climb that fence and then still jump on the roof. That's not advice. And so yeah, these colors are all weird, and look at these greens that are appearing. So this film is old. When you have film, you're supposed to shoot it and develop it right away so that the colors don't shift and the media breaks down. Well, I shot that 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and finally developed it so there were color shifts and very grainy, although the original was a 400 speed film, which is automatically grainy, but here are these color shifts and weird stuff. Another shot for some reason. So then that's, I turned around, and then that's the elevator on the left side, or going down to the lower levels. Across the street, when I first started working there in 2012, actually I guess it was in 2012, now that I think about it. When did I have this camera? Because I worked there, it's all a blur now, but maybe 2012, and maybe 1 or maybe 2 years I worked there. And what I mean is the building across the street, that building's been there 30 years or something. It was in really bad shape. So through funding and the like, they then started to construct across the street, which is where I'm standing, the brand new facility. And so that old facility was still there. That building's no longer there, I believe. I think it's something else now. So when did that happen? 2013, 14, somewhere around there. So at least, yeah, this film is probably 10 years old. And that makes sense because around 2011 or 12 or something was the last time I was into film photography again. And that's terrible shot there, but then that's looking, so I was looking straight, I was looking one way, and I turned to my left, and I'm looking at the left side right there. No, it's not Southwestern. It's it's another school where I work at. It's the one over on Kearney Mesa, well, Sarah Mesa actually, North City Center for San Diego Continuing Education. So I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's where also National University was. I think they closed that, but it's a different school. And over there, that's an airport. Okay, fun fact. Not really fun, it's kind of weird. This is a weird fact. Across the street, so this brand new, shiny new school campus, and then on the right side is the old dingy one. Across the street is a little airport What's that one called? Brownfield, maybe? What's that one called? I forget what that airport is called. That airport is where the 9/11 hijackers learned to fly. So, interesting fact that right here in San Diego, like half of the hijackers or something, or all of them, or some amount of them, learned to fly planes right here in San Diego at that airport across the street from where I teach classes for San Diego College. There's a plane taking off right there. So I never knew that until obviously if you read Wikipedia and all of that, then you'll get all the details. But they got flight lessons on that airport across the street, and then use that to commit a act of terrorism. And they learned how to do it right there at that airport across where I work at. Very interesting. Just some more shots of this parking lot. I was just testing out the camera. I just got the camera recently, so imagine 10 years ago, I got the camera recently and I was testing it out, and I was just testing some shots there. Just the concrete parking structure. All right, so then I went to visit my parents' place. This is on their backyard, and they're in a neighborhood that there's a little hill above them, so there's a house up there. And just took a shot there. It was a cloudy day, apparently. Cloudy day, relatively dark. Hey there, Gabe. Welcome. You're just in time. Did you miss the story that I just said a moment ago about this airport? Did you miss that when I was just talking about it? It's an interesting and sad story, but from this photo that I'm showing here, I could retell it if you want, or not, if you already heard it, but welcome. Welcome to you and Karen. Hope you're having some good weekends and weeks and so forth, and we got to all meet up very soon. Everyone's talking about doing some board games next time at Fanboy Gaming, so maybe we'll try that sometime for something different. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, so here it is, just a short story because everyone else already heard it. So I teach at 2 colleges, right? You know the main one. The other one that I teach at is San Diego City College. And one of their campuses is this campus right here. This is on Arrow Drive. I don't know if you know the area up there in Serra Mesa, Kearney Mesa area, Arrow Drive. There's an airport there. So I'm standing here in the parking lot, and I'm showing photos from the camera that and that's a long story too, I'll get back to that. But I'm showing some film that I shot 10 years ago that I discovered the film that I never developed, so I developed it last week, and I'm showing the photos that I shot 10 years ago that I'm looking at the first time 10 years later. So I'm taking photos from the roof of the parking structure. Across the street is an airport. You can see a little plane flying away there. I don't remember the name of the airport, but the whole story was, this is the airport where some amount of the 9/11 hijackers learned how to fly a plane. If you didn't know that, some of them learned right here in San Diego at that airport how to fly the planes, and then a few months later 9/11 happened. So that was the thing that I was saying, that there's that infamy of things, because there's an airport there, learn how to fly. Why would it ever be a bad thing? And so it happened that they learned there on that airport where I work there across the street. Yeah. So anyway, other shots. Okay, so my parents' place. So they have they have a green thumb. See, my parents have a green thumb. They gave me a cool plant that I wasn't able to really take care of very well. When I moved from my old place to this current place, I gifted it back to them because they can take better care of it, and now it's thriving. And the only thing I can really take care of are cacti, because they require very little maintenance. And the ones that I have in my garden at the moment are still living because they get water once in a while, and they're okay. So I'm better at taking care of cacti and succulents and such than other plants that are more intense like this. These are actually grapevines. My parents have a cool little grapevine in the corner that creates red and green grapes. I don't know what specific names. Golden and wine colored. I don't know the names of grapes, but the red ones and the green ones. And so this is a wine. This is a wine vine, grapevine, that is. You have an training airport about 5-minute walk from here. Would you ever, as a hobby, learn how to fly planes and such, Mark? That might be interesting, right? You know, get a little bit of aviation and flying around everywhere and, jump between the islands and such and visit the country, visit the Dominion. Is that the name, right? Because you're part of the Dominion. So yep, that's a wine grapes. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of acrophobic, so high places are not my favorite. But it'd be interesting to fly up high and look at the big beautiful world from on high, like the birds. But I need to get good at flying that plane first. All right, so another shot of it. So this is another kind of tree. Do they still have this tree? So it's kind of interesting for the sort of blurriness of it, that there's a focal point of sharpness, and then there's all of this blur around it. And I really like this is a photographic term, bokeh, B-O-K-E-H, bokeh. And that's the phenomenon of when things are blurry in the background in a pleasing way. So I think this has some good bokeh, where the little shafts of light are becoming these beautiful little circles, and the things in focus are in focus, and the things out of focus are bokeh'd out. So I don't know what plant that is, that tree, what kind of fruit it's bearing, and I don't know if that's not part of the grape tree, but there's that shot. Maybe lemon. Maybe. That's a good point. Everything's skewing red-ish. That seems like a red-ish more than an orange-ish type of fruit. But that might be it. Although I don't really recall them mentioning they've got a lot of lemons. They do have passion fruits, also known as dragon fruit, or is that a different thing? They have passion fruit trees, so that might be a passion fruit bulb. I don't know. I got to check with them. I got to show them these photos and then see if they remember any of them. So that's my parents' cat. One of the many ones they've had, which I think that cat passed away 1 year ago, 2 years ago, after a long life. This was a shot from 10 years ago. So 10 years later, yeah, getting up there. 13-year-old cat, 15-year-old cat, somewhere around there. I think it was 1 or 2 years older than my old cat. So it was getting up there. Did not get very good focus on that. And another shot, not good focus, although you get the classic profile of the cat. Passion fruit is more of a vine. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'm remembering now. So, yep, you can tell I don't have that green thumb. Oops, getting an email. I've got to approve something, or someone will not get paid. Yeah, I should probably do that right now. I think that's important. I'm going to do it on a separate monitor. Hopefully this is just a quick thing, so you can't see what I need to sign, but I need to sign something from work. So I should do that right now. But you all then tell me some stuff. Tell me some prompts and stuff while I get this work done that I should have done earlier today, and it's important, so I guess I should do it quickly right now. Need to sign some important paperwork for people or they don't get paid. So that's important, so I gotta sign it. But that should be pretty quick. We got this technology nowadays where we can sign things digitally. Put another photo there for the moment. There we go. That's a little bit of a better shot. I forgot the cat's name. You know, I'm not big on naming my cats because they don't understand human language. So I don't. But I think she had some name. There's a female cat with a cute little white spot on the chest. Little collar. He was the grand dame of the litter. Let's see. Let me sign these 3 things really fast here. I thought these were kind of automatically signed nowadays, but I guess I've got to sign them myself. Don't worry, you're not seeing anything. 43, that makes sense. 43 hours. All right, fine. Click on this, click to initial, sure. And then next, click to sign here, click to sign, click to sign. Oh, that's easy. When you're the monopoly, like Adobe, sometimes there's nice things. So signing that is very easy. Well, that's interesting. Why do you have such few hours there? But guess that's fine. Those hours seem a little weird, but we'll approve that. And okay, click to approve, sure. And one more, then we'll get back to stuff. One more. No later than Monday, sure. Okay, so for oh, that's weird. For Stevie and Gabe, behind the scenes, I'm signing Angie's and Alex's timesheets here. But Angela's is missing, so what is going on with that? Let me do a quick reply here and make sure all of these are signed by the 25th. Attached, you will find whatever. I also attached this, whatever, timesheets. Let me know. Yes. Sure, but what about Angie? That's Clara, that's Alex, but where's Angie? Yeah, gotta reply to them and say, don't forget Angie. Alright, so that's a little bit of business. Get that out of the way. Taking JavaScript next time. That sounds good. Keep your skills up. Alright, a couple more photos. Another cat shot. Okay, that's my old car right there. So my old car was this Ford Taurus, blue, four-door sporty-ish sedan. I had that car between, I believe the model year of that car, I believe was a 2003 model year. I believe I got it in 2005, so it was a used car. And I had it from 2005 to 2014 or 15. So I had it for 9 or 10 years or so. And it was a fine car. I got into a lot of shenanigans in that car, in the back seat. And it was definitely starting to have brake problems. That was the main piece of maintenance that I had to deal with at the end of the time that I had it. And then eventually, I bought a car in 2016, a Chevy Cruze, also a four-door sporty sedan sort of thing, and it was red. So I went from a blue car to a red car. That's the one I currently have. Actually, was it this December? No, it was last December. At the end of 2021, I finished paying it off. So has it already been a whole year since I paid that off? But maybe I'll pull up. Do I have any good shot of my current car? Hold on. That was my old car there. And Used to have a Toyota Tercel 98 sedan before a Dodge Dart. So my very first car was a Pontiac Le Mans, little compact car. You had to move the seat forward to get in the back, and that was my first car. I don't really feel like I had it very long. And my brother was driving it and tried to back it out of the driveway and hit the post. So we had to fix a little piece of the door. So I had that for some amount of time, and then after that I got a Pontiac Grand Am. So that Pontiac Le Mans was a white car, and then the Pontiac Grand Am was purple or burgundy or something, I don't remember now. I had that for a little while. The Jaguar Dodge Jaguar? No, what am I thinking? It's Jaguar, right? Jaguar is the Jaguar brand. So, isn't it? I'm not a big car person, but so what were the details of that Jaguar? I'm not finding any shots of my car handy at the moment. Sometimes I take a nice photo of it when I wash it. It looks very fast. But that shot there was from my previous car. So after the Pontiac Grand Am, then I got this Ford Taurus. And then after that, at the moment, I have this Chevy Cruze. Huh. Just took a quick look at all of my 2022 photos, and I could have sworn I took at least one shot of my car then. Quick look on well, it's not my car, but how about this photo here? How about this photo here? Look at the kitty. This is when he was still a little kitten. This is when some of his very first photos that I took of him, because I got him in December 2020. This shot is from January 6, 2021. And his little ear all flipped up. And that's so funny. And then over here, he's on the couch. Yep. Let me show you one more cute cat photo right here. All stretched out. Yeah, it's going to be slower than I wanted. Okay, never mind. I'll find my photo later of my current car. But you can look at that. You can look at that cat photo there. Or how about this photo that I managed to take? Well, let me show it this way. So I took this photo of, I took this photo here. Okay, cool photo. But then if you look closely, I managed to catch the lightning. JX220 is the car you want. However, you'll never drive it. You had your license revoked due to disease. Oh, really? It just wouldn't be safe for others. Oh, well. On the one hand, then you don't have to spend on it, but you can still get driven around in it. Is that a little... You can still be driven around in it and still be a cool guy in your Jaguar JX220. Yeah, I'm not seeing any photos of my current car. I know I've taken some cool photos of it. Every time I wash it and it looks nice and clean, I always remark to everyone when I look at my own car and I say, wow, whose car is this? Is a movie star in town? That makes no sense, but I like to kind of joke that way. Oh, well, I'll find it later. So A couple more, then we'll get back to the gameplay. The last ones. So this is looking out my window at my old place. The parking carports, and it was raining at that time, and just some rainy, gloomy day. The tree that was outside my window of that old place. And the last shot here, so just the same shot, and then there's just the neighbor's car there. So obviously I was just testing, nothing really artistic in those shots, but I was just kind of testing out the camera, which I found for $1 at the thrift store, the second-hand shop, and I was testing out the roll. And then at some point, the camera mechanism to advance broke, and so I put it away. I never really tried to fix it. I was still kind of new-ish to the photography, I guess. So I put the camera away, and I uncovered it 2 weeks ago when I was going through the garage. And so that is the last shot, but then here's then just a picture of the negative itself. Like, there's all of this weird distortion in the chemicals of the negative, so that's why there were all those color shifts and graininess and imperfections of the previous photos, because it was an old camera. The camera itself is from 1983 or so, so is that 40 years already? That's a 40-year-old camera, number one. Number two, I took these photos and then never developed the negatives, so then they were slowly degrading. And obviously trying to take a photo of a ghost, and then it clouded up the image. But those are some shots. I'll show later the actual shots that I shot brand new. That came out very nice. I was very happy with it. So it was a present to myself from the past. That I bought myself a camera 10 years ago, and after I retested it, it worked fine, so I got another camera. I was spending some time over the last few days to clean a bookshelf over here, declutter a little bit, and make a space there for the camera gear, and it fits pretty well there. Ooh, it's gonna be God Pharaoh, it's gonna be Amonkhet God versus Amonkhet God. Oh, it's gonna be the good gods of Amonkhet, Oketra, versus the evil gods of Nicobolus, the Scarab God. The champion of the perished that is going to... Well, I need actually mana first, so we're gonna summon a zombie. That'll become a 2/2. I won't be able to block it. Yep. If I attack, they'll block that and get a... treasure. If I get one more mana, I can summon Oketra, and then I'll be very well. Just give me a plain old mana, will be okay. I guess I shouldn't really have summoned that final 1/1. That was dumb. I should have kept 1/1/1, summoned Oketra, then I was going to get my land and play the 1/1, and then we'd be off to the races. Diabolical intent. fine. I was not graced with a extra mana, but might be in business unless they kill Oketra, but then I gotta remember to put it back into the Crippling Fear. Everything gets a -3. Fine. And then one more removal. Okay, that was a lot of effort. That was a lot of effort for removing my board. Sure. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Their little dragon over here. Pretty fun. Alright, I'm about to summon Oketra next turn. They're gonna eat my graveyard. Oh yeah, that's what this does. Okay, well, we're in trouble here. They have more removal than... We're not good, and they scry too, so they'll probably get that removal. Ziatora. Oh, so that's one of the Capenna. Remember that old vintage set? Streets of New Capenna? Back in the old days. How should we play this? Heliod's nice and annoying, and they're mulliganing a whole lot, so this might even be a non-game. The big brain play is to get Heliod out as soon as possible, but have a Johnny's Welcome out to then gain that life. Yeah, we'll try it that way. Although they'd have to mulligan down to 5, so maybe I could have been aggressive with Izamaru. New printing of Terramorphic Expanse. Yeah, I already got the gold for... that color, so I switched over to white. Alright, so how do we do the Sun Crowned over here? And then we do this over here. That gains us some life, and then Izamaru now is a 3/3. Amazing. We got the combo going on here. Bantu's Monument, pretty good. Pull off a mean win in a game the other night. You were playing a free-for-all. Your opponent were 9 and 5, and you were on 11. Ooh, what happened? Let's summon another creature over here. When it comes to life, put it on a creature or enchantment. I'll put it on Oketra. Going for some massive damage over here. Next up, we'll do a Johnny, I suppose. Now let's just do this. We'll just go more vicious because they're on the back foot here. So first of all, awaken up the Guardian Idol, play a creature, get another trigger, do the thing there, put the counter over there, gain another life, put it on this one over here, why not? Put a life on something over here, and I should have just put it all on Oketra because that's Oketra's 10 damage now. So, yep, you better block. You were playing goblins and used Skirk Fire Martial ability. You won on 1. Skirk Fire Martial, what does that one do again? Let me look it up here. Let's just jump over to good old Scryfall for a moment. We'll look at a few cards there. Web browser. So it was... Actually, I'm curious. How many Skirk cards are out there? 10. Skirk Alarmist. This is a wizard. Huh, that's interesting. Eventually they decided that all Skirks are goblins, but this early Skirk was a human. Human wizard. That's interesting. Zombie Spell Shaper was a zombie. So yeah, that's interesting. Before they... Let's look at these by age. So if we go not is reprint, just show me the originals. It looks like when they first... No, actually way back in... What is that one? Onslaught. Skirk Commando. Skirk Fire... There's Skirk Fire Marshal. Skirk Prospector. Then on the next set, Legion, they had a Skirk Human Wizard. But everything else has been a goblin. Future Sight Skirk Ridge Exhumer. 5 mana, 2/2 Goblin Lord. Protection from red. Tap 5 untap goblins you control. Deals 10 damage to each creature and each player. Ooh, okay, that's good. That was a good win right there. As long as you have at least 11 life, then that will work. Oh, and the artist is Greg. The artists are Greg and Tim Hildebrandt. They are a brother. They are a duo of brothers that first worked in the 70s creating art for fantasy novels and things, but they also did the art of the original Star Wars poster. Hildebrandt. That's how you spell it. So they did that famous first version of the theatrical Star Wars, Greg and Tim Hildebrandt. Yeah, their name's right there. I don't know why I don't know, I think on some versions their name is there and some is not, because some of you in the chat there, do you remember that in this, their name was on that corner there? I kind of feel like not every version of the poster had their name, right? It's so obvious there that I see it, but not every version of that poster had their names on it, or was it always there but I never noticed it? So obviously that's that amazing epic poster from 77. But anyway, Greg and Tim Hildebrandt worked on like Lord of the Rings art in the 70s and fantasy art in the 70s, and then they did a little bit of magic art. Okay, sorry, Mark, you're gonna have to show your way out of the stream. You go over there where the non-Star Wars fans are out. But anyway, Greg and Tim Hildebrandt then also did magic for art for a time. They did 139 cards, so they were a brother duo of artists. At one point, one of them died. I don't remember which one died. Greg or Tim, one of the two of them died. It's a weird story. Something about that. One of them died, but the other one kept the business going. That both of them were painting things, because that was their big draw. It was the duo brothers of the Hildebrandts. Hire them for the next thing. And something from what I read, it was like, one of them died, but we can't let the good name go away. Let's keep it going. See, okay, it was Tim, because they then recently brought back some of the old artists, so they did a Force of Negation for one of the recent sets. Greg Hildebrandt, see that? So it was Tim, the one that died, and that was probably 10 years ago at least. So there was some amount of time where Greg was still keeping the family name alive, but it was only him on his own. Deep Space Nine, okay, come back into the stream. We welcome you back. Deep Space Nine is definitely the best one. That's the one that no matter, even on the newest ones, everyone loves the new ones. Discovery and Picard, yeah, whatever. Take me back to Deep Space Nine. That's the best one. And I have not watched it. Every few years I do a complete watch through of the whole series. I've got the DVDs right there. And I was looking through my photos, And I took a photo, as is tradition. I take a photo of the last shot of Deep Space Nine when I finished watching it. And so I believe it was February 2020, the last time I finished Deep Space Nine run through. So I gotta watch it again. It's been 3 years. It's been too long since I got back to the adventures of Captain Sisko and the crew. Pretty cool Force of Negation from a classic artist. I want to get into Dune. That's the one that I haven't really watched. Maybe I watched a little bit of the 80s movie, but I didn't watch any of the new stuff. I read a little bit of the Dune comic book that came out in association with the recent Dune stuff, and I want to get into that. Did you read any of the Dune books? Those are also like 1,000 pages, aren't they? And there's a huge world. Ooh, we got the same thing here, another one of these Heliod things, huh? Alright, I'll check out the new Dune. Is it like a 4-hour movie? Because I know they, the challenge was always that it was such a complex movie, a complex book. So the idea is that oh, that's a cool land. Look at that land. Astral Cornucopia with one on A. Well, that won't be any trouble once I start to grow my squad. Alright, I got 6 mana, so I've got enough mana for Oketra and a 1/1 creature. But they haven't used any removal yet, so hopefully they use it. When I got back into Magic in 2015, and then I was looking up mana rocks, I was fascinated to find Astral Cornucopia because it's triple X rated. And I just thought that was just a fascinating casting cost. There we go. So even if you summon Troxel, all my stuff is way too good. Brainstorm. Better think of something good with your Brainstorm. Scheming Aspirant ain't it. Although they're at enough mana for proliferate what? Oh, I guess proliferate your Astral Cornucopia. That's actually pretty good. Yawgmoth, that's pretty good. Well, we're going to put a blocker in the air. Actually, I'm gonna... yeah, I'm just gonna go all in here, and then Heliod can plus life. We got a first strike. Everything's out of the range of Troxel. Give pluses to so many things here. That is a big squad. They're gonna need to wipe the board here, or else they're in big trouble. Don't proliferate your cornucopia. Lose a little life, who cares? They got enough. You have enough mana for Troxel, but that's gonna wipe you out. They're gonna give him the good old... Yay, you got your commander out. Who cares? And I don't even need to do anything here. Like, I could Hieromancer's Cage and really kick them down. But we'll just attack with everything. Thinking very, very hard. If they don't block that 4/4, this is game over. It's game over already. They don't have enough blockers. That's 5 damage already, so whatever you do, you're dead. You don't have enough blockers, so they needed to... They attack with that Thrumming Bird, which proliferated. They needed another blocker. So, yep, they're done. Okay. That might be not so bad there. Okay, you're down to 2 life, but you're blocking everything, I guess. No, wait a minute, you're not blocking Oketra. You're dead here. No, yeah, they blocked Oketra, so it's been blocked. Well, I didn't need to give that life. Okay, well, they're down to 3 life, but they have advantage at the moment, and now we got a Shield Dread. They got a lot of blockers with all of those slugs. I just need them to tap out. And they're going to be able to resummon Troxel pretty easily. Now they're gaining life off of Shield Dread. So Black Market, if things die they get mana, so it's not as good as it would seem. Guess they're gonna make a comeback here. was a pretty good combo. Once they got Yawgmoth and Shieldred out, they would be able to gain life and draw cards and get advantage. So, GG. Alright, Eruth, the Tormented Prophet. Turn 1 speaker, you gotta love that. If you would draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Instead, you may play those cards. Okay, so it's some interesting, just sort of chaos type of deck. You know, I complain about the algorithm being weird. I would complain about it for the opponent, and I guess I need to complain about it for myself too, because now I've got the Heliod again. Shore up. Blue Sun's Twilight. Oh, there's a Blue Sun's Zenith and now a Blue Sun's Twilight. Gain control of target creature with mana value of X or less. If X is 5 or more, for a creature. Ooh, that's a brand new card to add to the Jace deck. Blue Sun's Twilight. Gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. Which is interesting because the previous control spells had to be of mana value X. Now it's X or less. Okay, that's now overpowered. And then if it's 5 or more, create a token. So that's a cool card to add to the Jace deck. For the moment, what do I want to do here? Yeah, let's bring out Oketra. Give him a beating with the 5/5. Guess they'll block it fine. So now you have to play a Traumatic Prank or a Vesupian Duplimancy. Uh-oh. Whenever you cast a spell that targets whatever, do a copy. Okay. And then they're like done. Oop. Too much value with this, Oketra. Turn 1, Authority of the Consoles. Oh, there's that Queen Alenanalal. I was listening to the podcast, Mark Rosewater's podcast, where he... Alright, so how many of you know this? Within Wizards of the Coast, they have something known as the Council of Colors, which is one employee of Wizards of the Coast is in charge of advocating for one of the 5 colors of magic. So there's a person that what they're all about is to, as best as possible, set themselves up, well, try to recommend and make deals and stuff about new cards. So if I'm the council representative of Red, my job at Wizards is to help make more red cards. But also, the 5 colors of magic since the beginning, and it's been refined through the decades, they, each color has a sort of style and goal and philosophy. And so that's why, like, you know, you're never gonna see like Stevie Vraska. You're not gonna see a red Vraska, because red, the theory of red, good old Disenchant with Richard Kane Ferguson art. You're never gonna see a red Vraska because the idea with that, the red is passion and spontaneity and the like, and black is ambition, duplicity, green is of nature. And so Vraska right now being black and green, black of the ambition, green of the nature and the like, and then red is of impulsiveness and such, and she's not impulsive. She has to be an assassin that is hidden in the shadows and the like, so red doesn't make sense there. So that's a 10-10 double strike. That's going to do 20 damage if it doesn't get blocked. So in the console of colors, on the episode, on his episodes, he was talking to each one of the 5 representatives of the console of colors. That's going to be 6, 7, 8 damage right there if you don't block that. So, yeah, life gain combo. I really like that Twin Blade. When it first debuted in M20 or whenever it debuted, I really liked it. It was just so fun. Every time you gain life, put a +1 on it, and then it gets double strike if you have a lot of life. That's a 12-12. With double strike, it's going to do 24 damage. And then they're like, never mind. Peace out. So I was listening to the podcast where they were talking about every color. They talked to Mark talked to the representative of each color, and that person had a very good insights on, okay, I'm in charge of green, and so I got to do this and that. And so Mark would ask them, what is a thing that your color does that it shouldn't do? Because in the 30 years of Magic, things bleed over. It's not always that, okay, black cannot do this and white cannot do this. Things bleed over sometimes. So green and white, for example, and this is fascinating just to kind of hear the behind the scenes things. Green and white are both token focused colors. But let me ask all of you there, what do you think is the difference between green and white tokens? Both. This is another easy combo right here. As long as you've got the Leonin's Vanguard, you automatically gain life. The Pride Mate gets bigger, and then now that I'm hitting with the Alseed of life, then it's even bigger. So that's a big kitty already. So what do you all think is the difference between green tokens and white tokens? Both colors are focused on tokens, but what do you think is the difference? That's yes. Okay, but let's say philosophically or mechanically. Uh-oh. Tapping, going forward with no taps, eh? Alright, let's see what happens here. 5 mana untapped. What can they do? Instant speed. Well, they can crack their Hedron. Six, 7, 8, 9. If they bounce back that 8/8, that's 9 damage. If they don't block this, they're dead. Sublime. Okay, fine. Actually, I can sacrifice this. You control gains protection. Yeah, let's do that. And then we've got that. Okay. White is magic, healing, green is nature, maybe spells, warriors, creatures. Creature types is one aspect where they're different because often in white you are creating human tokens, and then in green you are creating creature tokens. So in a sense, yes, that is one aspect. The big aspect, the big ass, we all like big aspects, right? So the big aspect is that the white tokens often top out at a 1/1 or a 2/2, maybe a 3/3. Whereas green tokens often begin at 3/3 and up. So that's one of the big differences there on what they're using to differentiate. And those podcast episodes are really cool. You should all listen to them. They're about 30 minutes each, and there's 5 colors. So, what is that? 2.5 hours, or my math? But they talk to each representative and what their goals are. Like, for example, in white, card draw, they talk about how in the beginning of Magic, red and white were very good in Magic in the beginning when it was 1v1. But then with more multiplayer games, red and white are not so good in multiplayer. The original idea of red just being impulsive and charging at the opponent and burning them out and 1v1, that makes sense. But when you're in multiplayer, you're not going to be able to spread out that damage as well for multiplayer. And with white, creating all these little tokens are useful and such, but the strength in white in the beginning was to create an army and then attack your single opponent. In multiplayer games like Commander and such, okay, you're building an army, but you still have a bunch of opponents, and you're falling behind because your opponents are drawing cards, and white has not been very good in card drawing. So they talked to the representative of white, and she was saying that, yeah, we're just trying to put more card draw in white, dependent on creatures, dependent on the strength of your squad. And I've started to see it in some cards that say something like, if you control 3 or more creatures, draw a card. This ability triggers once per turn. So it's really cool just to see the evolution of the game, what it was and what it's going, and to talk and to see the interview, or to hear the interview of the people that are, I'm in charge of green, so here's what I need to do with green. And then to get asked, what does your color do that it shouldn't do? And they were saying, for example, I think like treasure, black shouldn't get treasure. For some reason, I forgot the justification, but they justified it in terms of, well, we started to really deal with treasure in Ixalan. In Ixalan, so treasure was a new type, right? There was gold before that, but treasure was the new version. Slightly lower powered because you have to tap the treasure versus gold you didn't have to, and there's a little difference there. And so with Ixalan, we got pirates. Pirates are black. Pirates love treasure. So they started to put treasure into black. But by the various theories of the colors, black shouldn't have mana creation. Oh, I remember. Black can do mana creation with dark ritual effects. Or black can do mana creation like black market. When your stuff dies, you make mana. But it's contingent. And so that the theory is that treasure is too permanent. Obviously, you have to use it, but treasure is too easy and permanent to make mana acceleration, so it doesn't quite fit with the theory of black. So it's just a fascinating discussions about all of the various colors and how they work and their theories. Yeah, commons can get the job done. Red is so aggressive, always wanted to combo up red to black or another. I like black and red. I think those play together pretty well. And in that same interview, they would ask, okay, the friendly color, red and black, for example, what do they share? Or the enemy color, black and white. And they would talk about how so much overlap with this or that, and black and white are one of the ones that have the least overlap between their ideologies in the game. Good old Segovian Angel, 1/1 vigilance, flying. Okay. Got another one of these cool lands. I don't know why they didn't use them all at once. They're also kind of doing a lot of 1/1s, eh? That's cool. What set is that angel from? This one is from something Masters. It was one of their Masters sets, one of the straight to modern sets. What is that logo? I'm thinking Modern Horizons. One of those sets. When Warzel summoned Segovian angels to fight Tholmeel's Gargantakiri Nats, the ensuing battle numbered among the multiverse's least destructive. That's a play on the Settle the Wreckage will be perfect. That's a play on some other flavor text that was like, when the archangels of Drakmatar attacked the blah blah blah, it was one of the most destructive in the multiverse. And this is the opposite because it's a 1/1. And Segovian goes back to Segovian Leviathan or whatever that was. That it was some big scary fish, but it was only a 3/3. And so that's just a little play on things. Okay, come on, opponent, attack me with everything. You've got the Throbbing Inspector, sure. They're doing a very efficient deck, aren't they? But Settle the Wreckage. That was very devastating, so I don't blame you, opponent, for rage quitting because you had all your amazing creatures. What did you have again? You had the Hazda Marshal. Whenever this attacks and at least 2 others create a 1/1. Okay, cool, with lifelink. Survivor of Corliss, 1/1, first strike, cool. Exile this from your graveyard scry too, so first strike's always cool. Battalion, when this attacks and at least 2 others, it gets a +2, so that's a 3/3 for 1 mana. Then you had the Law Rune Enforcer, which would tap a creature, but all my creatures were small, so it didn't matter. And then, of course, the amazing Adanto Vanguard. Never underestimate a uncommon. Indestructible. But you know what takes care of indestructibility? Exile. And then, yep, that really wrecked the opponent, and the opponent's like, peace out. I haven't done some of these in a while. Armored Ascension. Let's look that one up. What is Iron Ascension? Armored, sorry, not iron, armored. From M11, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1 for each planes you control and has flying. Ooh, that's really fun, actually. Yeah, that has not been printed since Magic 2011, and before that, that was interesting. They printed it in Shadowmoor, and then they thought it's cool. It's printed in 2010, 2011, and then they stopped printing it. But that's kind of cool. The problem is, you know, listening to all these podcasts straight from the mouth of wizards, they talk about that enchantments are cool, but obviously the problem is that when the creature dies, you double lose the thing. Not only did you lose the creature, it was enchanted, but you lose the enchantment, so you lose 2 for 1. The opponent used 1 removal spell, they remove 2 of your cards. Eventually, that's why equipment was invented. Because, okay, you equip the creature, it gets the ability, the creature dies, the equipment falls off, you can keep using it. So, recently, they've been starting to create enchantments that are a little extra. You play an enchantment and maybe it draws you a card. Maybe it gains you a life. Maybe it makes you another token creature. So they've been doing that with enchantments. And for limited, for draft and such, I think enchantments can still make sense. But like for other formats, maybe not as much. You have 4 in your Ajani deck. Yeah, if you're going with mono white, and you put 4 of these on one, okay, you got, at the very least, mono white, we've got 4 planes. You're giving your creature +4/+4. And then after that, you start to add more of those. You're doing +8/+8, so they're going to add some new, I believe on the 27th, they're going to add a whole bunch of new cards to Arena. I don't think they're going with these just yet, with M11 just yet, but oops, back to the gameplay. But they're slowly working back towards more cards in the Solfim, Mayhem, Dominus, Phyrexian Horror, blah blah blah. Okay, we go first. How about a good old Izamaru, turn 1, a 2/2 for 1 mana. I'm gonna keep that cat. Okay, so that's gonna do, we'll just have it, that's fine, we'll just have him just use up the, just block it and kill it, that's fine. Just get it out of the way. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Nothing happened? Did they make a mistake here? You may have it deal one damage to, you may have it deal 1 damage to any target. And they didn't do their final click, so they dealt damage to nothing. That was a misplay. Sorry about that, opponent. Flame Channeler, little werewolf or something. If I get my next mana, I can summon Oketra. I have 1 more mana. I didn't get my mana. Okay, well, I guess I'll hold Topple. I'll hold a Topple. If a source you control will deal non-damage damage to an opponent or a permanent, whatever, it deals double that damage. Well, that's not non-combat, so it doesn't even matter, but let's just tap them out. We got the Banishing Light, beautiful. Missing land drops. Yeah, I guess I'll hold these back to block that. Missed 2 land drops. They'll probably have removal, Festival Crasher. If you cast an instance, this gets a +2. Sure. I'm gonna toast that. Great. Thanks for stopping by. We got every single one of their land drops. Torbrand, great. Lightning Bolt. Light up the stage. one more with Oketra, then I'll switch over to show a couple more photos, and then we'll go for the final games for that gold. We haven't seen Elenda in a while. I always wanted to make that deck, it just never came together for me. Or I never really sat down to fully put it together. Black and white vampires, that was a big deal with in Ixalan, they had printed white vampires for the first time. They're always black and then eventually red as well. And then they printed white. Just like the Ixalan was also very revolutionary in that they printed green merfolk. It was always blue, right? Maybe an odd one here or there, but... we got green merfolk. I think they missed a land drop. Nope, there we go. What lands are those? From Baldur's Gate or something? Heliod, pretty good. Black-White Sorin deck. Which Sorins? There's the relatively recent one, the 3-mana mono black Sorin that yeah, that's First Strike Kid. Yep, that adds up. If this deck adds up, it adds up. I built it that way that pretty much everything's a one mana or a 2 mana. So when you've got Oketra coming out, if you can then toss a bunch of 1/1s, then suddenly you're getting all these 4/4s. There's that lifelink aspect of things. So yeah, if the deck gets going, it gets going. All right, so for this next gold quest over here, actually I was going to switch over. We'll do a little bit of photo stuff and then back to some more gameplay. Let me switch over to, I showed the photos that were from the roll of film of 10 years ago, but then here's some shots of a brand new roll of film that I put into the camera and tested out. So let me show some of these. Very first shot there, didn't set the settings right, so it looks pretty bad looking out my window. There's the hill that I climb, the hills and trails that I like to go up there. To the top over there, fun place. And then just a shot of myself there in the bathroom. Exposure on that came out very good. That's the camera right there. Colors on that came out nice. There's the cat. Now that's a handsome boy there. And right on the windowsill, just rotated a little bit. These are just these are the scans and then conversion from negative to color, and then obviously I can tweak them to my heart's content later, but straight out of the camera there. So yeah, this camera worked great. I got it for $1 12 years ago. I forgot about it in my garage until I was cleaning 2 weeks ago. I put a roll into it. There is one little thing I noticed, however. Let's see if any of you notice it as I show more of these. But there is one thing that has me slightly concerned about it, but these shots came out really good. So that's a better shot there looking out the window. And yeah, nice. All of our rains that we got here gives us all of these nice greenery along the trails. So driving north. All right, so do you see this dark part at the bottom of several of these frames? Something about taking the photo and the way that kind of camera works. You're looking through the eyepiece. When you hit the shutter release, a mirror pops up to then take the photo for the light to hit the negative. That's known as an SLR, single lens reflex. You're looking through the viewfinder through a mirror that has the light angled so that you're looking through the lens. When you hit the photo, the mirror pops up. So something must be going on that the mirror isn't fully functional. Again, it's a 40-year-old camera that I found at a thrift store for $1 a decade ago. But some of these shots at the bottom have a little bit at the end there too dark, which obviously if I crop it, you won't see anything. But I noticed that about the camera. So nice blues happening. This is very grainy film, which I wanted to use that, so you will see some texture in the negative. But the focus and the colors came out well. Just walking along. That one's got to be properly rotated and such. So this is a cool shot where it's just the perfect walking gait of a person. And if I then straighten it, it looks better. And in the original negative, I'm showing the sort of lower quality shot of the photo. But in the original negative, actually I can show the original negative right here. Right here. It got a lot of quality. If you see there, you see all of the chain link there. And in the original negative, all of the edges and everything. And when that gets color corrected and inverted and such, you get those results. So I was pleasantly surprised that for that camera that I had lost, it still works very well, except for that weirdness at the bottom that the frame isn't fully, the mirror is not fully retracting or whatever the term for it is. So I thought this was kind of a cool shot, cool angle. It's a building with very blue windows and a nice blue sky. So with the white lines, that's a bank, local bank, San Diego County Credit Union, if people want to know. Now, is anyone mooning me from any of these windows down here? Nope. So over here, you can get some free dip for your chips. First come, first served. So I'm going over to the camera shop where I drop off my negatives and such, and it's on a very cool street, but then also there's neighborhoods right around there. That's why the speed limit's so low for the neighborhoods. And that's just a shot of the sign. I parked on a spot where there's actually a church there. This is a church building, and I loved how sharp the brickwork. Again, this is the lower quality version of the photo. In the original negative, you see all of the texture of the brick. And on my settings, I think I did the settings very well to get just this very deep blue and even the texture of the stucco or whatever that is. And when I was looking through these for the first time, I was like, wow, those are some great colors. Great camera, definitely worth the extravagant price that I paid for it. So the neighborhood is North Park. Yes, there's the famous South Park cartoon, but yes, we also have a South Park. There's a South Park in San Diego and a North Park. I don't believe there's a West Park or an East Park, but this is a really hip neighborhood. And the photo, there's a stoplight here. To the right of that, a couple stores down, is the photo shop. So I was taking some photos here. This is slightly underexposed. I can still fix it in Photoshop, but the exposure is slightly darker because the camera detected this brightly lit building here, which then affected the colors elsewhere. but it can still be brightened up a bit. And this is an abandoned building with some tough gangs writing their names on it. This used to be a Soluna Wellness. Oh, I get it. Soluna. It's Sol, the sun, and Luna, the moon. I just figured it out. There's a coin op shop there. I haven't been to it myself yet, but it looks really cool from the outside. Now, this photo came out very weird because it looks like Thanos is snapping them out of existence. And he did. This is frame 12. Frame 13 is completely obliterated. I don't know. I didn't realize it when I took the photo, but when I took the photo on the lucky shot number 13, something happened here. Some sort of I captured a mini black hole or something, because this photo completely blown out, and it also spilled into this previous shot, and it spilled into the next shot. So I don't know what happened with that cursed frame 13 there. And in Photoshop, maybe I can go in and maybe try to extract something. There seems to be a letter there, but I don't know what happened with that shot. I don't know what I took a photo of, but it was so powerful. The supernova was so powerful that it overexposed this shot on the edge and then this shot on this edge here. So really nice and green hill close to where I live. It's right over there somewhere. And nice and green because of the rains we had recently. The bar coin op. Are we talking about the same thing? We might be talking about some different ones. I saw on one of the streets there on North Park, there's some sort of arcade machine store. You go and play games, I guess. It might be the same place, and then you have a drink, and then you play Pac-Man and such. Then I was heading home. I went nearby. We have a little lake with some ducks. Trying to take some photos of some ducks over here. Same shot there. I was just trying a different setting, so nothing important. So I wanted to take a shot here of this framing element where we have some trees. There's the lake, then some houses across the lake. Prime lakeside real estate there. Thanos wouldn't want to bump them. If you ever watch the epic rap battles of history, the one man that could battle, the one hero that could battle Thanos is Robert Oppenheimer. So I looked that up. Epic rap battles of history, Thanos versus Robert Oppenheimer, the inventor of the nuclear bomb, basically. And it's a really fun video. I gotta fix the colors on this, but in this same lake area, this little duck right here, duck, mallard, I don't know the difference. I don't know the different types of ducks. This is a nice green hair. This is a classic green-haired mallard or green-headed duck with the little white collar there. Just classic duck. And just strutting around there. Me taking some shots. Same duck I got on the other side of the bars. And so just about to dive in. All right, so this one has a couple of names. The name that I like is the American Coot. So a duck-ish type of avian that has mostly a black body with a little orange bill and a little red item on the nose. That's the American Coot. It has some other names as well, but I like that one the best. And this is some other duck variation. So I was tricking them. I was throwing stuff into the lake, just like little pebbles or whatever. And obviously they're domesticated enough from the tourists that they think people are going to feed them. So I tossed a few pebbles in there. Sorry, ducks, but I needed to get a good shot of you all. Oops. And so right here is this one. Notice their bills. This one's got the little curvy bill. It's got these yellow eyes and the a white spot where the coots have more of a yellow bill, very pointy. and then a red spot on the top, have a black body. This is a brown body here. We saw the one with the green head a moment ago. So there's a whole bunch of these around in that area. You can almost see kind of like the little angry eye, like, you tricked us. Where's the food? And just those variations there. Notice how this one's got, I don't know if it's just because of different random variation or if this is an older one or a male or a female. I don't know. But it's just fun to see these 3 different types. It might be 2 types because the coot is different than the duck. But these 2 right here are probably the same. It's just that this one's a little gray with black and this one's brown because their builds are similar. And it's got a little notch of black there. Isn't that amazing? Just the variety of how animals can have their own appearances. A little triangle of black at the tip there, or the one over here has a little red on the top. And the red eyes versus yellow eyes, or pupils. Just heading back to my car. Actually, my car's behind this car, so I don't have a shot of my car, but my car's back there. So some cool reflection of stars. So that lake has rules. Must possess valid ID card. I don't live there anymore. I don't live in East Lake 1 anymore, but I still have my ID card from there, so I guess I could go in. Why do ducks without beaks look like minions? Do they? I never thought about that, but that might be true because they have that very simple shape. Property of East Lake 1 Community Association for exclusive use of residents. Fishing hours, sunrise to sunset, Wednesday to Saturday. And legal holidays, no swimming or wading. Dogs must be leashed and owners must clean up. No trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted with Section 602 of the Penal Code. Okay, so here's a question for all of you looking at these shots. Here's one where there could be 2 versions of it. The full-size one like this, or the cropped version. What about the cropped version where you don't see any of the civilization and you only see the little coots there? Even crop it like that. You see this little school, or what, swarm, or whatever they're called, of coots, and then you've got a duck on the back. Or the full size there, that civilization's right there. What do you all like? Little cropped in or full size? When I get a chance to visit East Lake, go to Otay Lake quite a bit. Huh, okay, so you go further out for the lake, and then if you go north, you'll see the... That's much... You know, to be honest, the Otay Lake... You're talking about the Otay Lake Reservoir, right? That one's more impressive. It's more square footage. This lake here is definitely smaller, although you have this wildlife there and lake fish and the like. But we've got to do that thing where we all meet up and take photos together. Heritage Lake over on Palomar Street in East Lake region as well. Heritage Lake. Maybe, I don't... I know Sweetwater Reservoir, but Heritage Lake, that sounds like it's further over, like Lake Murray area, or that's some other lake. Heritage Lake, yeah, I'm curious. Let me do a quick lookup of that. Heritage Lake, Chula Vista maybe, or Palomar? Oh, I think I know what we're talking about. Yeah, okay, I know the place now. Yeah, on Palomar, that makes sense. That Heritage Park. So I guess it shows up in the satellite images. Where is... Oh, here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah, I know where that is. Across the street, there's a bunch of nice restaurants to try out. All right, couple more shots in that roll. All right, so my roll of film ended, and then the last shot here overlap with that shot, so there's a little bit of edge there to crop out? Or is it a ghost duck? A ghost coot. And so here's a little bit more of their close-up of them. So they got those red eyes. Their beaks are pointier and more yellow. They have a little red thing on the top. They have this variation of black. And then the last shot there. So I have to color correct it a little bit because this water looks a little muddy or greenish. But in that same lake, it's a little bit more blue there. So I just have to color correct it and the like. And so that was the roll that I shot with the thanks. That was the roll that I shot with that camera that I rediscovered in my garage that still worked after all of this time. And I was very happy with the results. It handled well, the exposure. Oh, one thing that's wrong with it though, when you press the button to check exposure, it can either show you 3 lights, an overexposure light, an underexposure light, or a spot-on exposure light. Only the overexposure light works. So as you dial it in, and if you hit that overexposure but then jump back 1 setting, it should be exposed. But I was relying on my handheld light meter and checking those settings to take the photos. So I should do a test on it on how good the exposure of the camera itself is. Instead of carrying 2 things, just carry the 1 camera. But I like the results so far on that. I'm glad I rediscovered that camera. Got another to add to the collection and more to use in a future photo excursion. Alright, so we've got Melira, the Living Cure. So that's cool. It seemed way too pessimistic, the recent stories that everyone's getting Phyrexianized. Yes, for drama and the like, that's what people like, and the good guys are almost losing, and etc. But I kind of feel things of negativity are too negative sometimes. Okay, I wanted to play Merit Lage's Slumber, but instead I'll ramp so that I can steal the opponent's amazing creature. All greens, that sword, okay. Plus a toxic creature, fine. If I do 3, I can still depart. Okay, let's do that. Let's depart that. Actually, I should probably depart it. Creature gets +2 and has protection from red and green. I guess I should wait for them to equip it and waste their mana. Yeah, we'll do that. Sword of Forge and Frontier. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to whatever, exile the top 2 cards, whatever. Sure. Alright, then I will, with no remorse, make you mine. Are there any free spells in green and white that they can play? Mana Tithe takes 1 white mana. They have no mana open. Do they just... I'm sure they just have their pause for priority feature on for every single reaction, which they don't need, because I don't believe... Okay. Oh, never mind. I should have read the card. So on its own, it can do a thing. Authority, who cares? Fine. Now let's get this party started with Pirate Jace.
Time to set sail. Seeing is believing. Or is it?
Actually, I should have played Merit merits slumber first, then my land. But no big deal. Sure. Got 8 disperse. Skrelv Defector Might. Equip it, sure. Okay. Let's do this.
Let's think this.
Attack, they won't block. Draw and discard. Another bounce. Play a land. Another bounce. We'll just keep
Let's
it
try
simple
this.
here. I bet if they miss another land drop, they will rage quit. I would not keep falling back so far. Pacify. You want to pacify an illusion, eh? How can you? It doesn't even exist. What a huge 5/7. With hexproof.
It's how you play the hand you're dealt.
There you go. You got your 4th land. Got your Skrelv. Should probably equip it. No equips. Okay. Passing with 4 green mana. Interesting. I have hexproof, so what are you gonna do?
It's a matter of give and take.
Oh yeah, give me that. No blocks. There you go, Tamio safekeeping. Or the new one. Sure. Eternal. Ooh, here's the new Wanderer. What are we in for? No more than one creature can attack the Eternal each combat. Exile up to one target artifact or creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's end step. Okay, I guess. Or create a samurai. Okay. Sure.
This is our enemy?
Sure.
Have a nice trip.
Okay, are you sure that's gonna do what you think it will? Oh yeah, because that happens. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, well, it's a pretty cool planeswalker you got there. I never played it myself, so I would love to see how it works.
I'll handle this one.
Alright, well, I guess that's pretty powerful. Oh, we finally see... Oh no, we were seeing the Wanderer's face recently. It was on the first incarnations of that character that she had the... hidden identity, but I guess we eventually, yeah, in Kamigawa, what am I talking about, of course. So, alright, so we got that. We got the Jace deck doing its thing, annoying opponents into rage quitting. Sir Conrad, I remember that was a pretty cool build around that I wanted to build around when it debuted. Playing mono blacks, we're probably going to get turn 1 Thoughtseize and the like a couple of times. That might be annoying. But what else will that deck do? This is an alchemy card. When this dies, draft a card. I don't know. Should probably follow my advice of don't play with alchemy players. But we'll see. Very slow hand so far. For me. Ooh, good old Zulaport Cutthroat. Okay, 3rd mana there. Probably don't want to bring Jace out yet. They're missing land drops. All right. Gurgling Anointer. It's got flying. Whenever you draw your 2nd card, do whatever. Sure.
I'm up for a challenge. Decisions, decisions, decisions.
Yeah, looks like they're having very bad luck missing land drops. I was gonna say they're just completely ignoring Jace.
What's that supposed to hurt?
Guess we'll make a blocker.
Deception is key.
Whenever you draw your 2nd card, Liliana's Elite gets +1 for each creature in your graveyard. Sure. Probably attack in the air. Don't care. Okay. Not so bad. Oops, I forgot that you come to a river is a sorcery. Whoops. Should have done that on... What do you draft?
Let's try this.
This is a pretty cool sleeve. I don't know what card it is or what character or what, but it's a pretty cool sleeve that I might put onto my cards. Onto his monument. Okay, sure. Now you gotta discard. And then, never mind. Yeah, they missed too many land drops. I don't fault them for throwing in the towel. Too many land drops. No, I'm getting too much advantage. And so we'll proceed. Darigaz Shivan Companion. Is this a new Darigaz? No, it's Alchemy. I'm not going to play that at all. If you have an Alchemy commander, that's always trouble. So, nope. It's still so surprising. 95% of the discourse on Alchemy Online is people hate it. But Wizards keeps printing Alchemy cards. It's such a shocking disconnect. Even though overall Wizards listens to the players. On this one, it seems like the president of Hasbro himself decreed Alchemy must exist, and therefore no one can ever take it out. But the players hate it. And every time I play against Alchemy cards, I'm sure you all see there how broken and overpowered and annoying they are, so there's no way that they're gonna salvage that brand. Good old Reliquary Tower. Another mulligan. This Wizard spell book, I have it in real life as a card, and I used it in a multiplayer game some weeks ago, and it's just so fun because you get to copy your spells, but in a random way. And I was able to copy, I think, a time walk. Not a time walk. What's the one that costs more? Time Twister? One of those.
We'll make this look easy. This should distract you. There is always an answer.
So this Tolarian Kraken, for a moment, I saw it out of the corner of my eye, called Tolarian Karen. Negate.
This will come in handy.
That has trample. Of course, you got your land drop that becomes 4. Oops, you put it on that. Okay, good.
This one I will remember. Your victory is just an illusion. Can you really trust your eyes?
I need 6 mana to do the entrancing melody to steal their commander. Passing with a bunch of mana. This is going to be a counter spell. This is just going to be a counter spell opponent, so there's no need to.
I'm doing my best to trust other people. Gotta stay one step ahead of death. I can't resist a good. At least I look like I know what I'm doing. Aha! Just what I was looking for.
Is going to be that flash creature, I bet. Nope, it's a fight or a bite.
Curious. It's good to learn from your failures.
Mina, scry.
The future is what we make it. Consider all
illusions.
possibilities.
Awaken V2 Gazi? Sure. I believe that is a 0 casting cost creature, so how about we make it mine?
I've got them all figured out. Just because it isn't real doesn't mean it won't kill you.
Basic legendary land creature island elemental. V2 Gazi.
The laws of reality could use some revisions.
So all of this time they've been attacking Jace, and now they're finally reading it. Like, what am I attacking? The Simic card that would hand 4 of them on the board. You won the game. Maybe. I'm trying to remember. What was it? Was it something that I played previously? Maybe? let's try our luck right here. I need to get a 10. Actually, wait a minute. Put 9 counters on any land you control. Okay, let's try to steal their instant and hopefully get at least 10. Nope. Okay, wait. So, no. Nothing cool on that.
There is always an answer.
And then they have all that mana, all that land. Yeah. And they're a slow player anyway, so I don't even know. I don't think I can come back from this. Alright, so it's just about 3 hours that I've been playing, so we'll play maybe one more. Hopefully end on a win with this Jace deck, and then we'll wrap up in a bit. Getting just about to be 3 hours. So all of these little tips that appear on screen, I wonder if there's a place to find them also somewhere else, because it's not just tips, but there's kind of lore here and there, and it would be interesting to also be able to read them. So I'm battling the opponent, Pirate Boy, but at the moment, I'm the Pirate Boy. Alright, so they're playing the good old everything's a tap land.
I will find you, Braska. Smoke and mirrors.
Alright, they have all of the mana they need now for Joda. I have to keep this depths in hand.
Let's think this through.
That's the form engine pretty good. So they're gonna want to put out a bunch of mana to be able to do the Joda ability. Actually, I should have stolen that engine. I had enough mana for it. That might have been the better idea. I forgot that Confiscate also steals an artifact. I'm always using it to steal the opponent's creature, but that will also confiscate their artifact. Alright, so they have...
Decisions.
Time warp. Oops, the cat's doing weird stuff. What is the cat doing? What is the cat doing over there? He hates his pillow. He dragged his pillow all the way across the room. Alright, well, this is going to be vicious. This is going to be vicious. Okay,
Oh,
can I? Do I have
look
enough
at
mana
that.
for this actually?
It's so
Target
sad
player.
to watch
Okay,
you
I take
fight
an
with
extra
someone.
turn. Lithoform. Lithoform. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. Copy target instant or sorcery. 3 mana more. Do I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? That's 8 mana. 6. I have 7 mana, so I can't duplicate my time warp. Fine, I'll just play it anyway. Then
It's a matter
could
of
steal
give and take.
Joda. How much is Joda? That's 5 plus 3. That's 8, 6, 7. I'm still missing 1 mana. Okay, fine. Let's take one more turn. If I get my next mana, then I'll just steal their Joda. Still not a land. Okay, how about my next turn? That's a land. Okay.
Today's a nice day.
I could have
Better
copied that
tomorrow
Jace,
than
I
you were
guess.
today. I love learning. What a refreshing thought.
So many shenanigans.
Let's try this.
Okay, gotta do another bounce. Is this when you're finally gonna rage quit, opponent? Yep. Way too much advantage and shenanigans in blue. And I never got a chance to use their lithoform. And I was gonna start to make Krakens. So yeah, Joda can be a very good deck. It's basically got Cascade with legendaries. So you gotta deal with it right away. And I did. So that'll be a good way to end things then. Thanks. That'll be a good way to end at the moment. Another victory with that Jace deck. I don't think I've had a chance to fully use it in real life against Gabe and Stevie and the others in the playgroup. But we're seeing here on one-on-one how it can definitely mess with the opponent. And maybe it's too cruel for real life and friends, because obviously with a nameless opponent on the internet across the world, yeah, of course I'm going to Jace you out. But then when we're there in friends face-to-face at the table, bouncing your creature yet again is demoralizing, and even worse, stealing your best creature from myself is demoralizing. So it's kind of a mean deck. So I don't know if I'll play it. I don't know, Gabe, you might be safe. I might not play it, although I have the deck in real life, mostly close to what this online one is. The good stuff. There's a time walk in there. Not a time walk, time warp. There's the time warp and the Karn's time walk as well. So there are a couple of take turn spells in there, 2, maybe 3. And then there's that book that lets you replay your spells randomly by playing a die. So so we'll see if I play that deck eventually. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Mark, for checking out that Nirvana video. That was a little bit different than I usually do, but I wanted to do something different and creative. If you haven't checked it out, Gabe, there's a video on my YouTube where it's a video about every Nirvana song in one video. But it's more than that, so you've got to go check it out if you didn't get alerted about my latest video. And then other ideas for videos coming soon. So, yeah, talk to you all later. Don't be a stranger on the Discord, and don't forget to like, share, and all that good stuff. So take care, everyone.